Sawchuck. Straight ahead inside the 10. Keeping his balance, getting help from his friends, finding his way to the goal line and in. Fresh, re-energized Florida State team knocking off number 8 Alabama.
Gets it to the face and then spits.
Oh, right. Just spit on him. Dramatica for the win, and there it is.
Haynes King following his running back. From 55. The snap is off. It is on the way. It's got the distance.
Pressure. Mateer escapes and slings it downfield into traffic. Catch made. Drives it. It's fading. And he missed it. What? McCray driving.
Watch right there. That's a touchdown. Yeah, that's a win.
Ball broke the play.
On 2nd and 5, they keep it on the ground. Here's Lassiter, and there he goes. Lassiter takes it to the painted end zone. A 40.
Punt for Clemson. Ball is blocked. Got in there in a beat. D'Angelo Pons is going to score. Mendoza looks, steps into one, end zone, touchdown. E.J. Williams goes up high.
Hammond uncorks again, same area. Hey! Can't throw any better. And if at first you don't succeed, then try again. Right.
Hammond, they throw it up top again. Now they're showing off. Touchdown, Reggie Virgil.
Welcome in to College Football Backers. College football backers, we got to talk about everything that happened this weekend. Let's start with Illinois at Indiana. Wow, was that a surprise? Did anyone expect a beatdown in this game at all on either side? Holy!
I think one person
Not
did.
at all.
One person did. Cignetti. And he lived up to to everything he was saying before that game.
Oh my gosh! The dude
Should even at
talked
halftime.
so much. He just
The most
talked
of
so much.
the most of the Midwest, you got to give him credit. He definitely called a shot and definitely put his money where his mouth is and laid a beating down.
I saw him talking after the game that we saw him turn the ball over 5 times against Duke, and we thought we could do the same thing, and we did. I about fell out.
You know what? Whether you like him or hate him, he has swag. He has that arrogance, and he definitely has something going on in Indiana.
It's a different type of swag, though. It's not the same swag I've seen with other coaches. He just has this confidence, and he knows what he's doing, and he talks crap at the same time. And he's a great motivational factor, but he looks like a guy that smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
He's a WWE wrestler as a football coach.
No, he's a WWE manager.
There you go.
Did you see what he said at half?
Yeah, that I loved.
They could score more points.
Yep.
Jeez.
He's like the Paul Heyman kind of manager of college football coaches.
So what did you – I guess we'll put the AP poll up just for reference. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think 11 spot is good enough?
I would have had him.
Top 10.
I would have had him in front of Texas.
Yes.
Maybe at the 10th spot. I don't think they should be ahead of any of the other teams, but I definitely would have put him in front of Texas.
Get that one-loss team and an undefeated team that you beat the number 9 team in the nation.
Texas even they won big last week, but they haven't been impressive. At least Indiana's blowing out everybody they're playing.
Yeah.
And then
Mendoza has gone off the last 2 weeks. 10 touchdowns the last 2 games.
My
10 touchdowns. He was 21 for 23 against Illinois.
267 yards, 5 TDs, and he was sacked twice. No interceptions. You're going to start seeing his name on the Heisman board.
Oh, it already is.
Yep.
Yeah, he shot up there.
I tell you, the stat that like stood out to me in that game though was Indiana had 312 yards rushing. Illinois had 2.
Yeah, Indiana was more physical across the board. Offensive line, defensive line. It wasn't even close. Illinois didn't even look like they belonged on the field.
Do we think this says more about Illinois or more about Indiana?
I think this says more about why we have preseason rankings and no one knows who's good. And just let these teams play and do rankings 4 or 5 weeks in so we have an idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's wishful thinking. Never happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it says a lot about both teams because
Okay.
Illinois, they predicate themselves on playing mind games and getting in the heads of their opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And Indiana didn't let that happen at all. Not at all did they let it happen. So it tells me that if you don't get the mind game going for Illinois, they're in trouble. And Indiana is mentally tough, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So next week, Illinois has USC. And USC kind of looked good against Michigan State, too. I mean, at least their offense.
I stayed up for that game. I stayed up to watch that game on purpose. Yeah, USC's offense looks like the real deal. And at moments, their defense did, but then they had these big clumps where they just let big plays happen.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Illinois' offense has the guys like Marsh or the quarterback from MSU.
Oh, crap. I did not hear about that. Cody, thanks for bringing the news, man. Holy cow. Jeremiah Smith's little brother just committed to Ohio State. I got to look that up real quick. Wow. All right, big news for me, at least.
The rich get richer, right?
Let's get back into this. What else do you think about USC? You said their defense. You thought their defense looked better. They had that freshman defensive lineman. What was his name?
Oh, I know. They kept his name. They kept saying his name last night. He was all over the field,
everywhere. They looked good on defense, and you're right. They flashed, but then there was turnovers.
What kind of killed him was Childs' ability to move.
Absolutely.
And it bought him time. I don't know if Illinois' quarterback's going to have the same athletic ability to buy him enough time against that defense. Because they had pressure against Michigan State. Childs was moving all over the place and just buying himself time.
Yeah, Childs is always one that you have to watch out for. He's kind of scary. They were getting a lot of pressure on him, though. I mean, he didn't have a lot of places to go. He bought some time for himself, looked pretty good doing it, but then all of a sudden there was just another guy there, another guy there, and another guy there. It was pretty damn impressive what they were doing.
Their offense, though, their running backs are explosive for USC.
Yeah. They got skill position all over the field, so it's going to be interesting to see. You know, they had that good game last year coming out against LSU, and then all of a sudden they fell off the face of the earth. So,
well, yeah, that's because LSU was no good.
It'd be interesting to see this year how good LSU actually is. You know, LSU had a nobody this week, but then they just beat Florida, and then they beat Clemson to start off the season. And now, what do we think about Clemson? I mean, that was a big win for LSU to start the season.
Now,
can we judge LSU based on Florida and Clemson?
No, both teams are terrible. And if you're Clemson, you can't have your head coach go on a rant he did this previous week and then go out and put up that kind of performance.
They're not going to get rid of him. He's bought some time there.
Oh, yeah, they're not going to get rid of him, but you can't let your coach start talking. When he's bringing up his age, you know it's a serious rant. and then to go lose to a Syracuse team that, 2 weeks before, were running laps after the game because the coach wasn't happy with their performance.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
And it's not like the game was even close.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you guys. I put the game on and I was like, oh, this game's over. I don't need to watch this one no more.
Was that after or before the rain delay?
Before.
So interesting thing. I actually looked it up yesterday because I was interested. I saw Klubnik's passing numbers going up, and I got to look and I was like, he's thrown 50 passes in a lot of games in his career. So I went back and looked.
Yep.
And just in the games where he's thrown 40 or more passes, they are 4-6. And I think they get away from their identity a little bit by having him do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where their problem is at.
I also think if you're throwing 60 passes, you're down a lot. And you completely abandon the run. Because there's no reason in any football game you should be throwing 60 passes.
Absolutely. That could be it too. That not even like consciously, but subconsciously, he has no trust in his run game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
And if you're Clemson, how do you not trust your own run game? You're supposed to have one of the best offensive lines in football, and you don't.
And that's the puzzling thing, because they returned a boatload of talent from last year's team.
So before we were talking about can Clemson get back into the playoffs? Now we got to.
I don't think so.
Can they get ranked again?
They can get ranked, but they're not getting back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
No.
If they were in the SEC and they had like a Vanderbilt type schedule to end the season, I think that they might have a shot because you're going to play a lot of top 25 teams.
Mm-hmm.
But really, who do they have left on their schedule?
Florida State, South Carolina. That's about it.
So South Carolina is terrible.
Florida State, Louisville.
Florida State's going to destroy them.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that South Carolina is terrible.
They're 1-2.
Not as good as we thought they were.
They're terrible.
Well, was Colors back Saturday or?
Yeah, he played Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're still terrible. He's a great quarterback, but they're terrible.
But they're better with him than without him, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say they're terrible. I would just say that they're not as good as we thought they were. Maybe not a ranked team, but
Their offensive line has issues. Can't run the ball. That's their big problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be, especially now, if you're one-dimensional, these top teams have too much speed now. You got to mix it up. You can't play with just one, just throwing the ball or just running the ball.
All right. Next game. We got to go down south. Oklahoma, Auburn. Now, this game, I really thought Oklahoma was just going to take over, and I thought this might be a blowout. Auburn looks like they actually have a good team.
Yeah, that Cam.
They have a good defense.
Right?
You know what, though? You got to give Jackson Arnold credit to go back there. 21 for 32, 220.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a lot of pressure in a spot that they wanted you gone more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
For a young kid like that to go in and perform like that, you got to give him a lot of credit.
So I got to ask y'all, what's your thoughts on the touchdown play that everybody's saying was unfair?
Oh, yeah, when they walked over to the sidelines?
Yeah. I personally, I think it's pretty sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to say when the SEC comes out and says they got it wrong?
Yeah.
Like, I
didn't know that was actually a rule that you couldn't do that.
Yeah, like I had no idea when it happened. When I watched it, I was like, "That's sweet."
How many times has it actually happened in a game? You know.
So my whole take is he never left the field. They never sent anybody in as a decoy.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you say they faked a substitution? Because they didn't.
No.
All he did was walk to the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
You see him look at the official and ask him if he's lined up correctly. There's nothing sneaky about it. Auburn just failed to cover him.
I mean, who's to say that a wide receiver doesn't line up out there?
No, what's the rule actually read? Because they said it's the way he went and stood next to the linesman that kind of played into what he was doing. That made it wrong.
Well, he walked over there. Like
the way he walked over
like he was
and
going out of bounds.
kind of hid next to him is what you can't do. From what I heard today, but I don't know exactly the rule. I thought it was a great play at first. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, caught him
I
sleeping.
thought something had to be up because he was way too open.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when they showed it live, I was like, oh, somebody must have fell down. And then they kind of like, you could kind of see it going over. I'm like, that's great. Just walk over, act like you're going out of bounds, and then line up. It's up to the other 11 guys to figure out you're still standing there on the field.
Yes, that's my position. And I don't think you should penalize an offensive team for a defense not paying attention and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, because you would think somebody would have been like, why am I not covering anybody? Like, there has to be something wrong here. Like, what's going on? But no one said a word. He just sat there and was like, oh, look, I'm just going to walk down here and score a touchdown.
I don't think it should be illegal either. I'm with you, Vandy. What reason? I mean, you're lined up on the field. Someone should be guarding you. Someone should watch you go off the field, to be honest. Like, and you're not bringing another guy on. It's not like you have an extra advantage.
Right.
Even if you are, that's up to the other team to figure out what you're doing.
For sure.
Like, if there's a guy standing on the field, it's up to the defense to realize he's standing there. Regardless if he's standing next to the ref or not.
Yeah,
did they huddle up for that play?
No, they went no huddle.
No huddle.
Really? Yeah. If I remember right, they went no huddle because they ran the play, and then they had just all lined up again. And he slowly walked off to the side.
Let's get into this Michigan-Nebraska game. Because, man, that was a closer game than you thought, Mike.
I picked them to lose Michigan.
You picked Michigan to lose?
Yeah. 30. Actually, we went over it today. I had them at 31-27 Nebraska. I just had the scores. I had the teams mixed up.
Holy hell!
Jeez.
Didn't your podcast host Kyle? Didn't he have like a big blowout?
He had a big blowout, and I think you were 6 points different than him.
Correct. Yeah. Man.
No, I think the game went just as I thought. You've seen a lot of the youth come in.
Yeah.
In this game for Michigan, the secondary is very young. There's a lot of young guys on the offensive line. That Tillman for his penalty, young guy, you can't do that. Where you get called for taunting.
What'd you think of that pass or that Hail Mary at the end of the game?
Oh, that's on the coaching. You got to call a timeout and force him to kick it. And if you're not, then you better bring in your hands team and make sure that doesn't happen. If you're going to let him just wind down the clock and let him throw the ball.
Man, he launched it, though, and it was wow.
And what sucks is the D-line had 7 sacks.
Oh, yeah. And if Nebraska had a run defense whatsoever, I don't know what they are now. They were 79th going into the game.
Yeah, so, when you have what? Underwood's was 30 yards, Marshall's was 54, and Hayes was 75. Michigan had one trip to the end zone and the red zone, and they kicked the field goal the whole game.
Wow.
If you could go back 20 years and predict that in 2025 somebody's going to have 290 yards rushing against Nebraska, would you have believed it?
No. And even last year, they're 107th now in rushing defense. 107th. Weren't they
That's insane.
Weren't they like top 3 last year?
They lost. The problem in Nebraska lost on both sides of the trenches. They lost on the defensive side and on the offensive side. You can't give up 7 sacks.
They went from 8th in rushing defense last year to 107th. It lost almost 100 places. 99 places. Holy shit.
Well, a game like yesterday doesn't help, right? Giving up that many yards.
No, but they hadn't played anyone really before. Cincinnati.
I don't know what they gave up the weeks before.
So what would a
Enough to
team
be
like
79th in the nation.
what would a team like Penn State do to them with that running back room? That would be ugly.
Well, I mean, anyone in the Big Ten is going to run all over them now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those were against weak teams that they got most of those stats until they got to Michigan.
Yeah, I think Hayes is almost at 900 yards rushing already.
Is he really?
Yeah, he leads the Big Ten. I forget. I looked it up today. 800 or
in the
something.
country. 537.
Wasn't it higher than that?
I'm looking at it now.
Oh, okay. I thought it was higher than that. We were looking it up today. The kid can run. Thank you, Alabama, by the way.
And on the flip side of the coin, Vanderbilt at 4-0 hasn't had a 100-yard receiver or a 100-yard rusher yet this year.
Really?
Nope.
You know what? I'll give you guys credit. You guys look good.
Vanderbilt looks like they're the real deal.
You got to give them credit. They look good.
What was South Carolina ranked when Vanderbilt beat them last week?
11th.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big win too. Vanderbilt should have jumped a little bit higher than they did as well. Who do they got next week?
Utah State.
Now, has anybody asked to sit next to PV's mom at the games yet?
I don't know if anybody's asked.
Because she's a smoke show. You gotta get
she's
Have you seen
that whole family is out there. I'm just telling you.
Who's the guy who's supposed to go on a date with her? It made like ESPN and Fox was talking about it.
Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's the craziest story.
Oh my god!
You never heard that, Steve?
No.
So he made he made a bet with PV. If they beat South Carolina, he has to hook him up on a date with his mom.
But there's more to it.
Yeah.
He said for him to hook him up with his mom, he had to get him a date with Tate McRae. So Monday, Theo Vaughn, true to his word, gets on Twitter and ats Tate McRae and says, I have a guy that wants a date with you so I can go out with his mom. I'm dying. And it's played out all week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they brought it up I seen it on ESPN, I seen it on Fox, all about this whole situation. I was like, I can't believe how big this story's getting.
Oh yeah, it's gotten a life of its own.
That is crazy. I'm gonna be all over that. Now I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I'm gonna be watching Theo Vaughn dating Pavia's mom.
He told the ESPN reporter, he said, I like being his friend. I don't want to be his stepdad.
That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
But
my gosh,
his brothers
that happens with social media now.
His brothers on opening night both got arrested for public intox at Vandy. I'm like, how are you going to arrest the quarterback's brothers for this?
Wait, who was it? Who was it? Wasn't it in England that one of the guys' dad?
The dad's brother and dad got into a fist fight.
Who was that?
Oh yeah, what team was that?
Kansas State.
Kansas State, yeah. Oh man.
Nothing says family love like a fist fight in good old. Where were they? In Ireland?
We're in Ireland. Oh,
we're gonna go drink some Irish pubs and duke it out.
They figured they were gonna fit in with all the soccer hooligans. You might as well just start the brawl and let's see if we can make American football look a little bit like European football for a little bit.
We're not gonna talk football at all for the rest of the show, are we?
Okay, Florida, Miami.
Florida, Miami.
How long does Florida keep their coach?
Napier, he's gone after this year for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't know what the buyout is, but yeah, this will probably be his last year.
I don't think they'll make a change during the season.
Yeah.
Who do they got left on their schedule?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. If
They
you're
have one
rated
on
in
the
the SEC,
schedule.
you're on their schedule.
Tennessee, Georgia, Texas A&M. Yeah, it's brutal.
I don't think he's going to make it to 26-7 against Miami is embarrassing enough.
And it should have been worse.
And they haven't played Florida State yet, right?
No,
Nope.
we play them at the end of the year.
Oh, end of the year. It would have been great if they played both of the Florida schools back to back, and Florida State.
No, they
embarrassed
got
them
Texas
too.
next.
Who do they got next?
Texas.
Oh yeah. He's not going to make the end of the year.
Well, they got Texas at the beginning of October, so they got a bye week.
Dude, I just want to know who in the SEC hated Florida. Because once they redid those schedules last year.
It's the same schedule. All the SEC did was flip them from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were at home last year, you play on the road this year.
Did Florida play Texas last year? I don't remember them playing.
Yeah.
They did? Okay. Wow.
That was DJ Lagway's coming out party last year where he finally got into a game and he kept it close.
That's right. And then they were all hyped up this season.
Yep.
And then what was it, 2 weeks ago or last week? His 5 interceptions was his going out party.
Pretty much.
Going out party. I don't know what they're going to do in the swamp, man. There's nothing to be salvaged with the schedule that they have. It's hard though in college football now. You get rid of a coach, you basically got rid of your recruiting class too.
Yep.
Yeah, but Florida has enough resources that they can build it back fast. If you get the right guy. Because it's not like it's not the state of Florida where it's a hotbed of recruiting and you could bring in a
Who's
bunch
the right guy though?
young and
So I have a theory. Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, right? He doesn't have NIL money. He doesn't have financial support. Could you imagine him going to Gainesville and getting that money and access to resources? That would be dangerous.
But would
they'd be good
hire him after the way they've been playing this year at Oklahoma State?
That's a good question. And would he want to coach again?
And also with his maybe 2, 3, or 4 beers, I don't know that he would be able to control a team in Florida.
That's
you
a
got
good
a
question.
DUI,
Too.
you're still playing. Ollie Gordon, you're still gonna play.
yeah, there's no rules.
But in Florida, stuff can get out of control real quick, as you saw with Urban Meyer.
I just thought that he would be somebody interesting for that.
That is
job.
interesting. At least an interesting thought.
It'd be one of the best job openings this year, right? Because do you really want to go to UCLA?
No.
And
I don't think UCLA would be that bad a job if they open up the pocketbooks.
Yeah.
Who else fired their coach already? Was it Virginia?
Virginia Tech.
Yeah, do you really want to go there at this point?
No, I think Virginia Tech's going to fall the wayside of the NIL and pay to play. Basically, I don't know that they have the resources to stack up with everyone else.
Florida would have a lot of resources and benefits to go there. It's just a matter of finding the right guy who's going to do it right.
I think UCLA could be an easy job to recruit at, as long as they were able to shell out the money. And they should be getting plenty from the Big Ten now.
Their problem is nobody goes to their games. They make nothing off of ticket sales.
Yeah,
at all.
Their game is far away from their campus too.
But for that, it's more you have to get your alumni to buy in that NIL is an important part of the university.
Yeah,
I think for basketball they do it, I don't know if they buy in for football.
Part of it is because it's so separate. They have to bust students out there to go.
Yeah.
And give them free tickets now. It's just
now, they can get
winning solves everything. You get a couple of wins and
that
people will show up.
Winning and playing competitively solves everything. So.
Mm-hmm.
We have proof of that in Nashville, right?
Yeah, proof of that in Indiana.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, look at Indiana, man. Wow.
That atmosphere yesterday,
man. That happened quick.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who would have thought that 3 years ago?
Yeah, I was there last year in the press box for the Washington game. It was amazing seeing game day there. And I couldn't imagine last night how it was in a primetime slot like that. You're the biggest game of the week, and then you just go out and absolutely crush Brett Bielema.
Wow. They might have to put up some temporary bleachers just to fit the amount of people that are going to be heading to those games now.
It used to be the place where you'd go to get the cheap Ohio State tickets. If you wanted to go to a away game because it's that close, you could like sit down 5 rows up, 10 rows up for $200 and like, all right.
Indiana was everybody's homecoming game.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. If Indiana was week 2, week 3, week 5, they were homecoming for every Big Ten team.
Yep. Same here. And here we are, 2 G5 opponents that were absolutely horrible last year, and we've sold out for both of them.
Yeah, and you know what it is?
We're putting a good product on the field.
Well, they invested in their program, number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, there's money. You're in Nashville.
Yes,
a
lot of money.
You can gain support at Vanderbilt. Bloomington has the second biggest alumni base in the nation.
And here's something about Indiana. A lot of people assume they're getting NIL money from Mark Cuban. And that's probably true. What people don't know is he donated $15 million to Vanderbilt for NIL.
Really?
Because his daughter is a student there. And last night, when Indiana's got their biggest home game of the year to date, he was in Nashville with his daughter.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
Yeah, but
at the end of the day, Cuban can go 15 million here, 20 million there. I'll give you 7 million.
Must be nice.
But you hit on it too, Steve. I mean, you're going to invest in players, but you got to invest in the right ones.
Yeah.
Yes. And Nico's not the right one.
Indiana's getting like 5-star defensive linemen to come on visits.
Well, Cignetti too. If you look at him he's great at finding guys in the portal.
He's been awesome at it. Especially
but he's also starting to stack recruiting classes and lessening him having to go in the portal. I think he understands it's a balance of doing both, right?
For sure.
Well, they mentioned it during the broadcast too. I mean, he was at Alabama coordinating recruiting, so he learned under Saban on all this. So he's gonna be a seller of the program.
On a different note, did anybody watch Game Day when Nick Saban said something to Biff Poggi about when you were at this school, all you did was pay players, and Poggi turned around and told him, "Well, I learned it from you."
I did not see that.
Yeah. He's like, well, you didn't even coach. I forget the school he was at. You didn't even coach when you were there. You were just there to make sure to cut the checks and pay the players. And Poggi's like, well, yeah, I learned how to do it from you.
St. Mary's, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh, St. Francis. St. Francis. That's it. And then Saban just started laughing, and then I forget who it was. They're like, can we just get back to talking football, please?
Well, did you hear him last week when they were doing their picks for like that Florida State Kent State game?
Mm-hmm.
Saban was like, "Well, as an alum, they're gonna kick the shit out of him."
He does seem a lot more happier now that he's on game day than coaching.
Yes,
wouldn't you be?
He's kind of coming to his own a little bit too. Like he's learning to be personable on stage instead of having that coach mentality. You think of how long he's been doing it. He has to flip the script completely and be like, I have to have stage presence, not talking to 18 to 20-year-old young men. And exerting
Did he watch the rumors that he was coming back?
I don't think he's mentioned it.
Yeah, he hasn't mentioned it, but his daughter came out and said, yeah, he's not going anywhere.
I thought he had said something to where he said he wasn't coming back anytime soon, but
yeah, I thought he said. I didn't know for sure. I thought he said.
Did he say anytime soon?
I don't remember. But
all right. I was gonna say because that's a little like what?
You got to figure out that some school with the deep pockets is going to give him a blank check to try and lure him out, though.
Yeah, it works well for Belichick.
Like we said, you got to invest in the right people.
That's true.
Yes.
Speaking of investing in the right people, holy Texas Tech. Wow.
Yes.
I mean, they were making noise all off season. We were talking about how, it's just some run-of-the-mill program. Their investments aren't going to mean anything. But they're putting it on the field now, too. And even when they have their starting quarterback go down, that Hammond kid comes in and just tears it up. Absolutely tears it up. Again.
Actually looked better than the starter did, too.
Yeah. Is this the product of Texas Tech being good? Or is it Utah not being as good as we thought?
Maybe a combination of both.
Yeah, a combination of both. But to be fair, if you look at Texas Tech in recent years, they had to spend that kind of money just to get up to speed with everybody else. How long can it last? Do they have the money to keep doing it every year? That's what I want to know.
It depends on how many of the super rich and fan base decide to be a part of it. You can't count on, I don't think, one or two guys to constantly fund it. But if you have 5, 6, 7, then I think it's sustainable.
All right.
And that's one of the reasons, I don't want to make this about Vanderbilt or anything, but that's one of the reasons I'm confident with Vanderbilt is once the school invested, we've got enough millionaire alumni around the country that you don't have to rely on just one. You can go different ways every single year and get money without hitting the same people all the time.
And a lot of the big schools are like that, right? Michigan's like that. I'm going to guess Ohio State's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Couple more games to talk about. We need to talk about Georgia Tech, squashing Temple. I mean, they're here. I think they're here to stay. Obviously, now they're probably somewhere between 4th and 1st place in the ACC is where they're going to end up for the season. Any disagreements with that?
I mean, I can see them.
They're the real deal, right?
Are them and Florida State in the same division?
I don't think they have division.
We didn't do divisions in ACC.
Yeah, they got rid of them.
Can you see a scenario where Florida State and Georgia Tech are in the ACC championship together?
Yeah.
Two teams that nobody expected.
Well, Georgia Tech has a lot more favorable of a schedule, and I think the winner of the Miami-Florida State game is going to pretty much punch their ticket to the ACC championship game.
Yeah, who's really left that can go to the championship in the ACC? Miami, Florida State.
Louisville is undefeated.
Georgia
Tech. Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Virginia, Duke are all undefeated in conference play.
Okay, now how many of them do you have confidence in making it? I would say that.
Now that's a different question.
I would say it's Georgia Tech, Florida State.
Georgia Tech, Miami, and FSU.
Florida
I think it's going to be a combination of those three in the.
Do you think? Well, Louisville's undefeated. Do you think they have a chance?
Who do they play?
They made it, so they know what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
Who do they got left, though, is the question.
Who, Louisville? Oh.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
They play Pitt.
Because if they played the School of the Blind so far, a high school and a middle school, then yeah, I got to see who they have left to play.
They got Pitt, Virginia, Miami, and I mean they've got like Boston College, Virginia Tech, Cal,
terrible,
Clemson, SMU, and Kentucky.
Yeah, so you kind of got to put them in. Their only real game is what, Florida State?
Yeah.
But Kentucky's going to do what Kentucky does, and they're going to beat Louisville just like they always do.
Well, Miami's gonna run away with it, I think, in that game against Louisville.
Seems like it was what Miami's doing so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last game that I think that we need to hit on is South Carolina, Missouri. So Missouri got that win. Missouri doesn't have that bad of a schedule this year either, so Missouri might make a run in the SEC. Undefeated. Let's see. They got next up Alabama. I guess we're going to know next. Well, I guess
we'll know next week.
They have UMass.
3 weeks on October 11th. They got Alabama.
Actually, their schedule it's a little bit tough, I guess. Alabama, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, Oklahoma still left. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to show.
Definitely, you got to show up every week with that schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I think of all the SEC teams, Texas has the easiest schedule.
Yeah, Texas had a really easy schedule last year too, but they still got Georgia.
I think after Georgia, that's
Oklahoma.
They got Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas A&M.
A lot last year, and they got A&M. Yeah,
they got A&M at home this year, though, right?
Yep.
And A&M with Marcel Reed is a team people should keep an eye on. That's a dangerous team right there. If you don't watch it, they could all of a sudden get to November and they're unbeaten, waiting a date with Texas, right? That's the type of team I see Texas A&M as.
No, they playing the last game of the year again, Texas A&M?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to play Texas A&M right now.
I know. October 25th, Texas A&M goes to LSU to play them.
Yeah, I'm more of a believer in Marcel Reed right now than I am Garrett Nussmeier.
Nussmeier didn't have too bad of a game this week.
When you have an oblique injury like that, those things they're tricky to. If they don't heal right, it takes forever to heal. You just don't know what you're getting.
For sure.
Another team that I think out of the Big Ten people aren't keeping their eye on is Washington.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out with Washington next week.
Yeah.
Their quarterback obviously looks like he's the real.
Somebody told me today they scored on 17 straight drives or something, or 15 straight drives.
They haven't lost a home game since 2021. Even in their bad years, they're good at home.
Well, you would expect people to be better at home, even in bad years.
When you're undefeated, that's different.
That's one of those teams I think you're going to see upset somebody. I shouldn't even call it an upset, just beat somebody this year.
Do they have Oregon on their schedule?
Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon.
Washington and Oregon to close out the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if they beat someone, because I think they have all their tough games at home too.
They go to Ann Arbor, and Is Oregon there?
Yeah, Oregon's at Washington.
Yeah, so dude, Ohio State and Oregon at home. That's not a bad season ticket to have this year for Washington.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
So let's talk about this AP poll. Get on there. TCU, that was a game we should have talked about. TCU versus SMU. Quite a game there. BYU's played no one, so we're starting at the bottom, work our way up. What do you think about Notre Dame being rated after being 1 and 2?
I don't think they should have been rated after last week being 0-2.
That
makes sense because of who you lost to. I mean, if we're going to penalize people for losing to someone, in the top 10, I mean, you should lose to someone in the top 10 if you're actually a 22 team in the nation.
If it was anybody else, I don't think they'd be ranked. But because they were 2 top teams that they lost to, and that's perfect position for Notre Dame to have the chance to work their way back up for the playoff. You can't penalize them for losing and scheduling hard games.
Correct.
But it kind of sucks for them
too, because they were up by like 4 points.
That it wasn't spread out either.
Yeah, there were close games.
And it's not like it was one was week 1, one was week 6 or 7. Like they had them back to back almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of them's the first game of the season. And now Miami's number 2 in the nation.
Like I can see Notre Dame not easily, but I can see Notre Dame running their schedule the rest of their way and finishing at 10-2.
That's the problem. They don't really play anyone. They got SC. So that's the big game on their schedule left.
They have one more game.
Arkansas.
That I have circled. That's Navy.
I mean, that would be awesome if Navy pulls that win off again.
I don't expect Navy to win that game, but when you start talking about G5, you're looking at your Memphis, your Navy, your South Florida. If Navy can get to South Florida with just that one loss to Notre Dame, that might decide your G5 playoff team. So I've got that game with Notre Dame and Navy circled because that's going to have large implications going forward.
That's a good point.
Now, do you think South Florida gets there with just the one loss too?
Oh yeah, because
if that one loss is
No, but do you think South Florida gets another loss along the way before that game against Navy?
I don't know who else South Florida has. I mean,
got
Navy and Memphis.
Yeah, they got Memphis.
Oh,
Memphis looked good last week.
They didn't really look. Arkansas had them down 28-7 at one point.
Hey, they look good in the comeback. You got to give them credit.
Hey, they won, right?
Yes,
they won the
did
game.
Come back and win. And it may end up costing Sam Pittman his job.
All right, looking at this top 25, is there anyone that you don't think belongs where they're at? Just a complete, why are they there?
I'm starting to question Iowa State.
I don't like Texas at 10. I think they should be, 13, 14 around there. I think Michigan should have stayed around 21, 22. USC, I think I would have put at 19 ahead of Michigan.
Really? For what?
I think they looked more balanced so far on offense where they can throw it and run it. Michigan hasn't showed the passing game yet, and their secondary hasn't looked strong enough yet to be in the top 20 teams, in my opinion.
Michigan hasn't beaten a rated team, huh? And neither has USC.
Yeah. Now, we at least played Nebraska, who I guess last week was on the hump of being rated.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, that game, I never thought at one point Michigan was going to lose that game. Even when it was tied, I just wasn't worried. It didn't have the feeling like we were going to lose at all.
I mean, I'd probably put Indiana at 9 and bump A&M to 10. I'd have Georgia Tech higher.
I would have Georgia Tech higher for sure.
I would have Indiana higher too.
I also think Oklahoma needs to be a little bit higher because I don't want to give all these other teams credit for not beating anyone yet.
But that's the thing though. I mean, I wouldn't have moved them up to like a 3 or anything, but I don't know where I would rate them in that mix with Penn State, LSU, Georgia, and Oregon.
The problem is
I'd have Georgia at 3, and I'd have Oklahoma at 4.
The problem is Penn State and Oregon haven't played anybody yet.
And I think Florida State's probably rated too low too.
And if we're being honest, I don't think Oregon looked good at all against Northwestern. Yeah,
No.
They win the game by a large margin, but they didn't look good.
And their run defense looked terrible.
Well, we're gonna find out about those two teams this weekend at 7:30 at night.
Yeah, and that one of them's going to be rated a lot higher now and going to stand the ground.
One of them's going to justify the ranking a little more. I mean, I'm okay with Florida State being at 8, because outside of Alabama, they played like Mike said with whatever that other school was. It's like a middle school, a high school, and a junior college.
But you got that ranked win to start the season, so that's better.
Which is why they're at 8, and I'm okay with that right now. And
but that's better than Oregon, better than Penn State, really now better than LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LSU beat Clemson week 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what gave them their lofty ranking.
And that sucks too, because they're going to hold that all season that they beat a top 4 team, even though Clemson turned out to be dog poop.
Yeah, the only one on here right now that I'm not sold on is Iowa State. Because Kansas State has not looked good since then. Yeah, they beat Iowa, but Iowa's going to be hard-pressed to win 6 games as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, what's Iowa State doing on here?
They are. I agree with ranking them probably, but they need to be down there in the 20s. You're right.
Illinois, I think, should have dropped right out of the rankings. You can't. I don't care if you're ranked in the top 10. You can't lose like that. And haven't played anybody. In the first game you play, you lose 63-10, and stay ranked. Like you just, it's not.
Yeah.
You just can't have it happen.
Yeah.
Like at least Notre Dame you can justify because it's 2 losses within 5 points.
Yeah.
Illinois lost by 54 points.
So to put that in perspective, if Vanderbilt goes to Alabama and Vanderbilt's 5-0 and they get beaten 63-10, they're completely out of top 25.
You guys would be ranked 106.
We're dropping.
Like it'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Illinois is getting that extra little push because it's not like they're a perennial top 10 team.
Maybe just because of Luke Altmaier?
Because of what they have, because of what they brought back.
Because of those 2 letters at the top of the poll that says AP in the mainstream media.
But let's be honest.
They've never got anything before.
The only poll that matters starts November 4th.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, this is important in creating that. I mean, it's already in your brain. It's already in the voters' brains where these teams are, what their value is. Yeah, they're going to dive in a little deeper and maybe change some things, but they've always been pretty close, right?
I want to see because now they have this whole strength of schedule they're going to bring in. I have no idea. I don't think anybody does of how they're going to weigh this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because look, LSU, perfect example. You can't say they had this hard non-conference if Clemson keeps losing.
Good point. Very good point. All right, I'm gonna go through a couple of things. Who do you think is the leader for scoring offense in the nation? Just name anyone in the top 10.
I already know the answer to this. It's Tennessee.
I was going to say Indiana.
Tennessee's 4.
Really?
Indiana's
Indiana. 3.
Florida State?
Florida State's 1. 58 points per game.
I saw something on Twitter today that said Tennessee was averaging 55 and was number 1.
Tennessee is averaging 53.5, according to college football stats. That's what I always go by because they update it the quickest.
Yeah.
And Florida State is 58 points per game. Washington is 55.7 at number 2. Number 3, Indiana at 54.8. And Tennessee falls at number 4, 53.5.
Has Washington lost yet?
No.
Guess who's at number 8?
Who?
Vanderbilt, 47.5.
Yeah, we're in the upper 40s.
So Washington hasn't lost yet, but Illinois is ranked and Washington's not.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But Washington hasn't really played anyone yet.
So let me put that in perspective for you, right? In 2021, Clark Lee's first year, they went 2-10 and scored 189 points for the entire season. We've already scored 190 this year.
Oh, man.
That's insane.
All right. Scoring defense. Name anyone in the top 5.
Ohio State.
Vanderbilt.
Ohio State and BYU are tied for first at 5.3 points per game.
Oklahoma.
Well, ours might have went up this week. We were at 11.
Oklahoma's at 8. Vanderbilt is at 19.
Miami.
12.8. Miami wouldn't be up there because Notre Dame scored a lot.
They've had a lot in the 20s and all. So
Miami's at 11.5 points per game, making them 15th. BYU's tied with Ohio State. Penn State's 3, which they haven't played anyone, so 5.7. Texas is 7.8. Indiana 8.3. Oklahoma's 8. LSU's 9. Oregon's 9. And they're tied for 9, so that rounds out your top 10. And the rest of them are like UCF and Arizona are tied for 6 with 8.7. Interesting.
What's Arizona's record?
They're undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were.
They're 4. I think they're 4-0 too.
How all of a sudden did, when he was a freshman, Noah Fafita jumped on the national scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then last year, he didn't have a good year, and Arizona wasn't very good. All of a sudden, he looks like a competent quarterback again, and they're playing some good football.
I mean, Noah Fafita was awesome his freshman year. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't surprise me at all that he's making a comeback. But why aren't they getting any credit for it? I don't know. Arizona is they're 3-0. They haven't had that 4th game, but I don't think they've played anyone.
They played Hawaii,
Weber State,
and K-State,
and Kansas State, and beat Kansas State.
Kansas State was another team, I think. Weren't they ranked in the preseason polls and now
Yep.
nowhere to be found?
They're 1-3. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
And their one game that they won, they should have lost to an FCS team.
Here's a question for you, just on a different topic. What's the game you're looking forward to the most this weekend? Coming up.
Penn State, Oregon.
Yeah.
You got Bama, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, A&M and Auburn, Ohio State, Washington, Indiana and Iowa, USC, Illinois. The fact that Bama and Georgia and Oregon and Penn State are at the same time sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Bama and Georgia and Oregon, Penn State are at the same time?
Yeah.
That is awful. I mean, that used to happen all the time where you'd have 2 big games from the South and the Big Ten. But now that the big noon kickoff has started, you don't get that as much.
This definitely has like bar night where you can go sit and have multiple screens surrounding you.
So I'm gonna be the outlier here. I'm looking forward to Iowa and Indiana.
You know what? When I first looked at it, because I think that's at 3:30, I looked to see if that was a 7:30 game. And Steve's going to tell you, I think, the same thing. It's different going to Kenneck at night.
It is. Absolutely.
It is.
And I think I watched my team go there and lose. I've watched Steve's team go there and lose as heavy favorites.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, we used to call it, that's where ranked teams go to die.
Mm-hmm.
We just did not want to go there at night.
I think Penn State's lost a few at night there.
Yeah. I mean, it's an awesome stadium to go to, and the crowd is great. It's very underrated as far as a stadium to go watch a game.
By far the best tradition in college football.
Easily.
I mean, props to Rutgers for what they did Friday night with the tribute to the Children's Hospital of Iowa. That was pretty cool.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see it. What did they do? I watched the game, but I didn't see that. What did they do?
They did like a drone show, and then they turned on all the red lights in the stadium and had the hand waving.
Oh, that's
and,
pretty cool.
Really?
And dedicated it to Iowa Children's Hospital. That's pretty cool.
And that game actually had offense in the first half. I was shocked. It was 21-21 at halftime. I think
Iowa scored 38, didn't they?
Yeah, I think the over-under was set at 7. No one was expecting a high-scoring game like that.
Dominic's just sitting there grinning. He bet on it, didn't you, Dominic?
Nope.
This is actually pretty cool, so I'm going to go ahead and try to show this. How classic is that?
Yeah, that's classy. You got to give him credit for that 100%.
Yep.
Were you guys able to see it very well or hear it?
Yeah,
that's class right there. Class act. Well,
I actually preferred
games
their
next week?
drone show to ours. We actually stole Enter Sandman and Sandstorm for our drone show Saturday night.
We'll take it. Hey, man, I like all those drone shows coming in. Night games are the best. That's why night games are awesome.
They're pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So can we get let's get an early prediction for Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State?
Yeah, let's do it. You're up.
Okay.
Georgia, 31.
Wait, where's it at?
At Georgia.
Yeah.
At Georgia.
I'm going to go Georgia. No. 33-21. And Penn State 38-28.
Vandy?
I'm going to go Georgia 38, Alabama 21, and Penn State 31, Oregon 21.
Picking Penn State goes against all my principles of never picking James Franklin in big games.
I was kind of wondering if you were going to like burst out into flames or something. I mean,
what do you think, Dominique?
Well, I don't really want to pick it this far out, and here comes the Dom. I sit on the fence.
Nah.
Yeah. Do whatever you can to sit on the fence.
I think Alabama will win it by 3.
Alabama by 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Penn State, Oregon?
I think Oregon will win it by 10.
See, I'm with Vandy more on the Georgia-Alabama game. I think Georgia's going to dominate the game. So would you say 38-21?
Yep.
Something along those lines. I would even maybe go to like a 34-13, something like that. And then I don't think I trust Penn State. I think I'm going to go with Oregon here. I mean, Oregon's going to be live for that environment. I think they're all excited about it. I think they're ready for it, and they want to play in an environment like that because they get it at home. So they'll be a little bit used to it with as loud as it is there. And I think there's something about Dan Lanning. I'll take Dan Lanning over James Franklin all day. Give me Oregon by 3. That field goal, 31-28.
If Bama loses bad, are they ranked again next week?
If they lose bad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in the 20s or something. 19.
Yeah. They'll keep them ranked so ESPN can go to Tuscaloosa for game day next week.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
All right.
What? Who do they play in 2 weeks?
Vandy 5-0.
Oh yeah, I want everything there. If you guys beat them again, that would be outstanding.
Oh yeah.
Because why wouldn't you have a ranked Alabama hosting a Vanderbilt that's 5-0 that rarely gets on game day?
And you beat them last year,
Yes.
handily.
Because
You're going to wind up going, or they're going to wind up going to Tallahassee for Miami FSU.
That's probably another good choice too.
That's the choice. They got to go.
No, you know what's going to happen? One's going to get big noon kickoff there, and the other one's going to get.
I don't think Big Noon Kickoff does that. They go wherever they're broadcasting. I don't think they go outside.
Just gets tied to the Big Ten anyway.
No, they were in the Big 12 last week.
Yeah, but they're a Big 12. They broadcast the Big 12 too. So wherever they are going to broadcast a game, they go. I don't think they do what ESPN does and goes. ESPN goes wherever they want.
I thought they went all over.
I don't think I've ever seen the Big Noon Kickoff go to a SEC game.
Yeah.
See, I thought they went all over. I thought they did the same thing as game day.
I don't
They
think
do
they
it
do.
similar, but like Steve said, I don't think they've gone to like SEC country or even like ACC area.
Oh, see, I thought they did.
No, I don't think they'll. I don't think they ever have or ever.
Well,
will.
that's stupid. Is it because
Makes sense
Illinois is not
financially.
allowed in stadiums in SEC and ACC countries too?
Is that because what?
Is because
Or what?
David Portnoy is not allowed in the stadiums too, or is it just he's not allowed in Ohio State?
He's not allowed anywhere but Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was in the stadium this week in Utah,
Was he? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Utah doesn't count.
but I think the Big 12 made an actual deal with Barstool, which I don't understand, but I think they did.
Because Portnoy probably threw a bunch of money at him.
Well, when you go to Michigan, that's what happens. You get a good degree and you make a lot of money. If you go to Ohio State, you end up talking to guys like us.
What's his degree in anyway? I mean,
Oh, probably business.
I was going to laugh if you turned around and said like fashion or something like that.
Fashion design.
Probably
He got a
business.
degree in basket weaving.
There was actually a player from Louisville last year that got drafted that had a degree in fashion.
Michigan is all general studies. Isn't that what it is that all the players do?
Yeah.
That's every school. What did you take? Communications or general studies? What did you graduate in? Communications.
Like, communication
studies.
All right, boys. I think we got enough to get the show in for the week. And, man, college football never disappoints. Upset City all the time. Before we go, we got to get a national championship prediction. Who's winning it, Germany's?
Ohio State.
And who are they playing? Who are they playing?
I'm going to go Ohio State over Miami.
Ohio State over Miami. All right, Bandy.
Okay, so before the season started, I had Penn State beating Clemson in the national championship.
Ooh,
I have
That
adjusted that.
That aged bad.
I still think Penn State's the best team in the country. I think Miami is the number 2 team in the country right now. I have Penn State beating Miami.
Wow.
Again, goes against all the principles in life that James Franklin can't win big games.
It does.
Until he does. He goes on that streak.
Yeah.
Dominic, what do you got?
I think the winner of Florida State Miami against Ohio State.
Pick Florida State. Just do it.
Well,
And who
I'm
wins the
number one
game?
from Florida State, so yeah, I'm gonna.
And who wins the national championship?
Wait, who's winning the game?
Oh, wow.
I think Florida State will win.
Florida State wins the title again. Oh, that'd be good for Florida State, and the ACC will need one. I think Georgia's going to come back up there. And honestly, I think it's going to be Oregon versus Georgia in the national title.
That'd be a fun one to watch.
And I am going to go with Oregon to win their first ever national title.
If Oregon makes that, that would have put Dante Moore probably as the Heisman winner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not
That
sure
would
I
piss
trust
you off
Dante
if you
Moore.
lost him.
No, I've always liked Dante Moore. Ever since he was at UCLA, I thought he was going to be great.
Yeah. Good player.
He is.
What'd you say, Vandy, about Dante Moore?
I just don't know if I trust him at that level yet.
Not against the big boys.
Right.
I trust him more now because he got to play behind a guy for a year. It's not like he didn't sit there last year, right?
That's true.
Yeah, maybe Penn State's not showing their hand yet. Is that what you think?
That's
Vandy?
what I'm thinking is they haven't had to show anything yet, so they've been extremely vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Now when the competition starts stepping up, now's when they start showing the weapons they have on the outside that we've heard so much about.
Now, it's not going to hurt Penn State this week, but if they were playing somebody else instead of Oregon,
Indiana would torch Miami. Man, maybe
if they played a team that played somebody already, would that hurt Penn State this week?
Yes.
Having to go in there and not play somebody and to play a team that has.
See, if Penn State would have had to show their hand already, I think they'd be in trouble, but they haven't had to, so that's where their advantage is this week.
I don't know if I trust Penn State. Going into the season, I was all on Penn State, but unless they are kind of keeping things vanilla until they play a big team, we're going to find out on Saturday.
Yep.
All this talk will be over, and we'll see actual results. And we're starting to get into the point of the season. You know, you get into week 5, you finish that, teams have 4 games in, all the cream puffs are off the schedule, you're starting to get into conference play. This week, next week, and the week after, you really start to find out the who's who among college football. So it's going to be important to buckle up now and see all this. I can't wait.
And they're going to settle it on the field, too, because, I mean, they've got Penn State, Oregon, they've got Miami, FSU, Georgia, Alabama.
Yeah, the next 3 weeks for college football, if you are a college football junkie like I am, these are the weeks to start watching, start really paying attention to see the who's who of college football.
Yeah, the next month you're going to see the AP poll fluctuate all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on some of these outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, when we were talking about the AP poll earlier, I was fine with, like, where FSU was at 8 because they're going to play it out on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
when you're up that high in the AP poll, it doesn't matter that much because you're going to have the chance to prove it. It's those those teams that are down in the 20s or the high teens that don't get that fluctuation based on a win. Or, you know, if you're not rated yet, and you should be like in Arizona. Arizona keeps going undefeated. they're going to be so far behind the 8 ball. How do they climb into that playoff position?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be like you got to handle your business and hope other people wind up faltering.
Well, you almost need to win your conference if you're that far back at this point.
Well, the problem for Arizona is they're in the Big 12 and they don't get the respect like the SEC and the Big 10 do.
Mm-hmm.
They got to do a lot more to get ranked then.
So you get a situation like Vanderbilt's fixing to face. Alabama gets Georgia this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Vanderbilt-Alabama game changes so much if Alabama beats Georgia or Georgia beats Alabama. It changes a lot just on that one game.
Oh yeah, right. If they lose, that game becomes the rest of their season's must win.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Vandy, you're an SEC fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doug's talking about this. If Oregon wins a Natty, that's 3 straight championships for the Big Ten. Or if Penn State does, what kind of argument does the Big Ten versus the SEC have against each other at that point?
At that point, it would be the Big Ten is top heavy. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
At the top, the Big Ten has passed the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking top to bottom conference depth, I think the SEC is deeper.
I think primarily, too, if you look at you want to say the bottom feeders of the SEC and bottom feeders of the Big Ten, by far the bottom feeders of the SEC would completely blow away, like not even close, the bottom feeders of the Big Ten. Some of those ones in the middle of the Big Ten are always, it's hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Really hard to tell because Iowa wins a lot of bowl games for some reason. Teams like that. Iowa seems to always win a bowl game when you don't expect it. Northwestern will come through with a few. But if you're talking about the lowest of the lows, top to bottom, SEC is a conference that is, I guess, dominant all the way through. They have quality all the way through. But there might be an argument to be made. What do you think, Germany's for the middle?
I think NIL's leveled it. I think you got. They're both very top heavy. If you go by, if it's about winning national championships, who do you really think can win a national championship in the SEC right now?
Mm-hmm.
Georgia. Does anybody think Texas, Ole Miss? Who else is up? Tennessee. And then you look at the Big Ten. Let's be honest. Who are we thinking from the Big Ten? Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. Yeah. Indiana look good. So they're both top heavy, and the second tier is probably really good. At the end of the day, both conferences are probably the top 6 to 8 teams are really good and competitive, and the rest are just they might have an up and down year, but for the most part, they're irrelevant in the conversations when you're talking about the playoff and everything else. And it's going to stay like that. I can't see the ACC keeping up. At least maybe Florida State, Miami.
Dominic, what's your perspective? You're the ACC guru.
And I think the ACC just needs to figure out what to do to kind of elevate their brand and elevate their teams.
When's the TV deal done? Or that Bill of Rights, whatever
it was 2036 or 20.
Yeah, it's still running. I think they extended it. I'd have to double check though.
Yeah, the SEC
2030 was an extension, and I'm pretty sure they picked it up, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think the SEC TV deal is 2032.
Because the SEC and Big Ten deal is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
It always is.
Well, that was the thing too, because the ACC media deal just sucked compared to the one that the SEC and the SEC and the Big Ten signed.
It's going to be hard for the Big 12 and most of the teams in the SEC to compete with these top teams in these conferences from the Big Ten and the SEC. Like me and Steve talked about, you got to remember too, like a lot of the Big Ten teams are in massive areas.
I do kind of want to see how their new revenue model goes in the ACC, because they're basing it on a 5-year viewership for their media.
That's a great idea.
I think all the conferences are going to go to that
Eventually.
Yeah, because it's about having as many teams as possible.
Well, that's why you need to make that push now. If you're not the top team in your conference, like the Vanderbilts and the Indianas right now are making the moves at the perfect time to make things sustainable, because college football is only going to continue to change, in my estimation. You're like, I wouldn't be surprised if we have relegation. Like, and I think it would be awesome, absolutely awesome. But like, that might come up based on TV contracts. You want to get those teams out of the conferences that just are marginal and not performing well. That's the way to do it. Because I think
as much as
it'll be separate from, you'll still be at the conference, but for football, you'll have like a parent or a brother conference or whatever you want to call it, sister conference.
As much as it kills me, I think within the next 10 years, you're just going to have the SEC and Big Ten. And maybe for all the other sports, there'll be other conferences. But for football, it's just going to be those two.
And you think that
they're gonna end up swallowing up the teams they want from the ACC and the Big 12, and they're gonna end up just having like the AFC, NFC of the NFL.
Who are they gonna want from the Big 12?
From the Big 12, I have maybe Texas Tech, Baylor because of the Texas ties, Arizona because of the market, the television market.
But do you really go after an Arizona market when you have California?
Well, I mean, Phoenix is a large city.
I'm not denying that, but I mean,
but who has California?
Big Ten.
Yeah, but the SEC could use the Phoenix market. The Big Ten, I think, has 7 of the top 10 markets between New York, Chicago, LA. What other ones would they have? Like, there's massive TV markets in the Big Ten.
And everybody's always assumed that the SEC would go after Florida State, Clemson. That's not actually true. No. They would go after either Virginia or Virginia Tech.
North Carolina.
Because you get that, you're crossing over into the DC area and trying to get into that market a little bit by getting those two teams. And then you have to go North Carolina because you've already got people in Florida. You've already got people in South Carolina. You got to get North Carolina now.
See, I think the Big Ten would go try to do the Miami, North Carolina.
So your options for the SEC in North Carolina, you only have one option. That's Wake Forest. Because you're not splitting up North Carolina and Duke, and you're not splitting up North Carolina and North Carolina State. You've only got one option. That's Wake Forest. Which sounds crazy, but
I would love for the Big Ten.
If it's about Duke. TV markets, that's what the SEC is going to do.
I would love the Big Ten to get Duke and North Carolina, just for basketball purposes. Would make it exciting from September to the end of March.
Yeah, I think anyone would like that.
Yeah.
All right,
but
boys.
I think Big Ten's definitely going to go after a Florida school.
Again, we got into off-season stuff. It's time to talk football. And it's time to end the show because, hey, it's Sunday night. I got to get to bed.
And the Giants are getting killed, so I don't have to continue watching Sunday Night Football.
I gotta get used to getting to bed early, man. In 2 days, I'm going to be getting up at 3 a.m. to fly out to Seattle.
Oh, yeah, you're going to the game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Washington, Ohio. I got to see that stadium. That's the main reason.
You're going to have a fun time this weekend.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
He's going to come on here looking like I did after the Michigan-Oklahoma game, all banged up.
Nah. Nope. I watch football completely sober. 0 beers. I want to know everything that's going on.
He's like Signetti. He'll wait till he gets back home and crack the beer.
That's right. Crack one and relax. Yep. For sure. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, college football backers. Thanks, guys, for getting on here. Check it out. cfbackers.com. Tons of articles out there. Anything that you want to see. Pretty soon the podcasts are going to be layered in there too, and message boards are on their way. So keep following us. Things are only going to get bigger and get better. Until then, all right, Mike, talk about your podcast. Vandy, talk about yours too before we get out of there.
Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. and Sunday morning, we break down the Michigan Wolverines and hopefully continue to break down Victory Sundays. And every once in a while, we happen to take a shot at those Ohio State Buckeyes just for good fun.
It's not good. And it's not fun.
It's definitely fun.
Vandy, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So, yeah, I'm on 2 different podcasts. I'm on the Golden Broom podcast with my co-host Cody Slavinsky, who also does some LSU stuff. We're on Tuesday nights at 8:30 Central Time. And then I'm also on Villains, the podcast, on Villains Media Network on Thursday nights. So that comes on at 7:30 p.m.
Very good. And what about your high school one?
I do a high school one on Sunday nights. We cover high school football in the state of Tennessee. These kids out here playing their hearts out for their communities and don't get any love anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little project I started out just wanting these kids to get noticed a little bit.
I think that's pretty sweet. All
That
right,
is pretty
Dominic,
sweet.
You're right for us on occasion.
Mhm.
Yes.
And what are you doing? Anything else? Writing anywhere else?
No. Y'all are the only ones.
That's for you, Vandy. But Dominic.
Yeah, I'm doing scouting for players getting ready to get into the NFL draft on All Access Football and working on a draft publication called the NFL Draft Bible.
Nice. I think that's awesome. Very good. That takes a lot of work.
You're telling me. I mean, I haven't stopped this is my 4th year. I haven't stopped since.
That's awesome, dude. Well,
You'd
appreciate
like
it
this
more.
you'd like this little book I got right here.
You should see the notes I have for the 500 plus players from this year, or getting ready for this year's draft.
Crazy stuff.
Hey, the more Florida State wins, you're gonna have to get us some more work on Florida State too, if you get the chance.
Everybody,
in your spare time.
Yeah, that's why I don't sleep much.
I don't either, man. I'm with you. Hey, Buckeye backers are always on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock and the morning after show about 9:30 on Sunday mornings. Occasionally we'll sneak another show in there. Probably will this week.
Let's be honest. Sundays at 10, possibly 10:30 by the time Steve gets up.
I like to sleep in.
I don't blame you.
I don't. I get up early. I try to go to bed early. That's the thing.
It sucked getting up this morning after watching the USC game. Nothing says Big Ten football than a 11 o'clock kickoff.
Out west.
Out west.
All right, y'all. God bless. Take care. College football backers are out. Peace. All right. Well, good show. I'm just tired. I had to get off there.
It says live still.
Now we're